Welcome to my event management software. And I decided to call this software. You're cordially invited to the events. So this is a software which brings the user ease and flexibility. The basic web software helps us manage events that occur in the company. Maybe it may be social events or professional events. The motto that I decided to give for this application is plan, manage, and attend. The use of CD and CI enables constant upgrade with ease. It is a widely used approach by many different web software developers, and because there are two different groups that are working on it, which are Wowza and the IPO office as well, to be easy for integration to work quickly and very swiftly. Applications that could help with that would be GitHub, where you can put into repositories any small changes or large changes as well. So it's easy for members in the team who are not in close proximity to each other for them to communicate. Then there's containerization, where I thought because you don't need to create a virtual machine for this web application, you can use it in a different server, and there are less resources that are required for running this application. And as much as we're using the software as an internal software, so we shouldn't expect any spike in users, but in the unlikely chance that there is, with containerization, we're able to quickly change or manage the memory that's being used for the application itself. Security is important in the intellectual office because of the information and secretive information that's kept. So we want to make sure that this web application lives up to that standard as well. Um, so for prioritization, it enables users who can use the application at times. The web application may be very congested, and we want to be able to control who uses the application and when. The firewall is to make sure no corruption occurs to the database or any malicious software introduced to the mainframe system in the IPO office. Um, then the use of web application user training would make sure that the staff that are going to be using this application are trained and know how to use it properly and not and make us as less prone to internal security breaches as much as possible. So, for authentication and authorization, there are a lot of different ways we could do it, and I thought we could use token-based authentication, and that's basically because it's a very widespread and very robust technology. So how it works is, as I've stipulated in the slides, it asks the user to enter credentials. It's checked by the server and validates, and it also has a way we can use web access with mobile devices, so with API token. OpenID is used so that every time that a user enters into the software, they don't need to enter their credentials all over again. And this authentication and authorization is also very important as with security, because there'll be some areas where there's privileged access and some where they don't have privilege. Speaking of privileged access, we have access control. To ensure the safe use of the software, the staff users will have a hierarchical mode of accessing the web application to make sure that each staff member has information that's available to them that they will find relevant only. So I've put if DevOps team were associated, they would have access to high level and back-end software tools, whilst the other users just have access to the software to create events or to check availability with themselves. Database technologies, and I thought would use the SQL. SQL is a very widespread and very easy to use, and we could use the encryption there to keep our data safe and to keep our data safe. So the methods will be API or TDE. It's very easy to manage, and it has very good security features. So the agile approaches that I thought of makes the continuous deployment and continuous integration of software much easier, as I had said at the top of the slides. As a large group of people may be using access to the development of this application, it is wise to use the Scrum method. So it is also easy for the users because it doesn't have a lot of downtime, uh, and that is why I think Scrum should be used. So staff user support. Some staff may not be familiar with such software, and so before and after and during deployment, it is vital to give the members as much support as possible. Some of these ways I have put down here, which are usability testing, planning on regular feedback platforms, training, and track software efficiency from the back end as well. And the cloud migration, there are benefits in joining the cloud in the future for software development of cloud computing. However, there may be some key elements that may discourage us from using this service. At this point, the most important one would be sensitive data may not be managed more securely on the cloud. And because of the information that we keep in the IP office, this would not be wise. Very much.